Hey, Scott. Um, I guess just following up on some of the stuff you talked about yesterday, what do you feel like from an actual strategic adjustment standpoint you need to tweak going into game two?
You want me to tell you what we're thinking about doing? Okay.
I would love for you to tell me that. Yeah.
I'm sure they don't follow any of the news and coaches sound bites. We need just to keep it simple. We need to do things better on some of our coverages. We need to be more aggressive. If we're going to put them on the line, let's put them on the line being aggressive. That's what I'm talking about. You can't put them on the line by just, the little ticky-tack fouls. If you're going to put them on the line, we got to do things more aggressive.
I guess following maybe a better way to ask that would have been is, do you feel like during a playoff series, how much do you need to see of something before you decide, you know what, I'm tweaking? Like, is one game enough to make you think that you need to adjust on something, or do you want to see it over?
Well, it all depends. If we've done it the way we're supposed to do it, then you have to do a little bit of a tweak. But you also have to take into consideration you've done things for the entire season, and if it's worked, you've continued to do it. And our defense has been pretty good over the last 3.5 months. I think we're top 10. There's games where wasn't as good, but we've been pretty good. Last game, they're a good team. I mean, I keep saying it. They got a lot of good players that have great experience, and then they're able to see things before it happens, and that happens over time. I can go back to every single one of their players and look back when they were a lot younger. They weren't reading the game. Same goes for our guys. When you see it enough, you can read and react much quicker. And our guys we're getting better, but we're not exactly where we need to be. But we'll make a few adjustments, and we'll see how it goes in game two. We know we have to play better. We're not happy just to be in a couple possession game in the last couple of minutes of the game. We come into these games, we're putting everything we have into to get a win, and there's no difference from game to game adjustments.
Scott?
Hey, Scott. Today's the 1-year anniversary of the murder of George Floyd. I'm wondering if you talked to the guys today about practice, about his death and what the past year's been like.
We haven't talked about it today, but we've talked about it enough throughout the year, and it wasn't a good day then. It's not a good day now, but we need to be better. We need to be better as a country, and I like our organization. I'm proud of them, all the guys, and everybody in our organization. I'm proud of us that we've stepped up and continue to try to make change happen, and Brad and Russell down the line, everybody, Monumental Sports, I really believe in. They believe in making a difference and changing. The social injustices it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. We shouldn't be talking about it. There should be no debate on racial inequality. There should be no debate. It should not be even a discussion. And for us to have that discussion, that means we still have a lot of work to do. And we have to continue to strive to be better as people for one another.
And Scott, I know you're focused on game two, but it was announced for game three at Capital One Arena, it's going up to 50% capacity, more fans in the stands. I mean, hearing that news and knowing you're going to have more fans behind your back for your home games in the playoffs, what's that mean to you?
It means a lot. If you look at it from our basketball point of view, it's great that we have more fans in the building. But to really what's more important, it means a lot we're starting to get back to being normal. The world needs it. We all need it. The country needs it. Our city needs it. Our vendors, our restaurants, our ushers, that we all need to be moving in that direction. So this is definitely another step in the right direction. I'm proud of we're in this position. One, we're in the playoffs. We got a chance to play in front of 5,000 fans the first couple of games. And now it's up to 10,000. To me, that's really, really good. Even last game in Philadelphia, I don't know how many they ended up with, but it feels good. It feels good, even if you're getting heckled and harassed throughout the game. I miss it. Our players miss it. I just miss having the fans, because that's what the game is about. Just the fans want to see two teams competing at a high level, and they're going to be able to see that. More of our fans are going to be able to see that in person. That's awesome.
Thank you, Scott.
Thank you.
Chase.
Hey, Scott. Dwight Howard had 9 screen assists in game 1. They led to 20 points. What can you guys do to manage that better in game 2?
Were they legal screens?
Some of them.
Okay. Well, some of the things that we can't control, but we got to do a better job of fighting through them.
And I know we've asked you quite a bit about Tobias Harris, but looking back, it seemed like he was particularly dangerous on catch and goes. What can you guys do to mitigate that?
Well, he's good. He's good at a lot of different areas of the floor, and he's a triple threat. He can, and not only endure those triple threat opportunities, he can shoot threes. So you got to be well aware of that. And he can catch and go. He can make passes. He can put it on the floor as well as anybody at that position. He's a high-level offensive player. He's a high-level player, period. He can do just about everything on the floor, both ends of the floor. We looked at enough clips throughout the year of the other 3 games we played him. And then last season, he's not easy to guard. I mean, it's not all Rui. We've all had opportunities, but our defense needs to be better. Being able to react quicker when he does get those catch and goes blow-bys, and hopefully next game that we will. I thought we did a better job in the first half, but he didn't get as many opportunities also because they were looking to get Embiid more touches.
Neil.
Hey, Scott, you were alluding to it a little bit yesterday about during your film session, guys were stepping up and saying, okay, this needs to be done, some, sense of accountability. Who is leading that charge, and, what's the message that they're trying to get across?
Well, we're all, I don't need to go into detail who speaks up, but we have some really good veterans that understand, but we also have other guys that want to get better. So they're asking very, very thought-provoking questions, and those are great things to have when you're the coach and you see that, and you just let it take place. You don't try to manipulate it, or you just let it flow. And like I said, we got guys. All of our guys are about the right things, and when you don't play, sometimes it's hard to be a part of it, or sometimes you don't feel like you are a part of it. But even the guys that don't play, they're very important to our decision making. But we have a general philosophies on what we want to do, and there's obviously wiggle room to improve on and tweak a little bit. But our veterans do a good job of talking. I obviously have my say is involved in it as well, but I believe in trying to figure out things together. I'm not going to tell you who does what and how they do it and how they say it. Those are privileged to be in, or we keep it in the locker room.
Scott, did you have another question? I'll take that as a no. I think that's it then, Coach. Thank you.
All right, appreciate it.
When Daniel Gafford first got here, you mentioned how you hadn't played with a lob threat like him at the NBA level. What's it been like figuring out where he likes his lobs thrown, and did you have any experience in any other setting to kind of pull from in that regard?
Not really. I don't think in my whole life I've ever played with anybody I can throw a lob to. Maybe Pat Young in college, but other than that, nobody really. But it's always special when you have an athlete like that. He's able to just, he's a quick jumper. He has long arms. He's kind of able to just save you in a lot of ways and just catch the ball and finish. And that's a gift of his more or less than mine or the passer. He's very gifted with his athletic ability. Use it to his advantage. So for me, it's just trying to get it up near the rim a little bit higher and away from the defenders, and he'll take care of the rest.
And Dwight Howard had 9 screen assists in game 1. He did a good job getting their players open. How do you guys deal with that moving forward in this series?
Oh, he's a good screener. He's a big physical specimen. He's a physical guy by nature, and he's the same way on the court. His biggest thing is to get guys open. He had that same mentality when he was here for his brief stint too. So, us as guards, we got to understand that, continue to fight through, shoot the gap sometimes or trail over. Maybe even take a foul here and there and just, be aggressive at all times.
Malika?
Hey, Brad, I'm wondering if that kid in the candy store mentality that you talked about, just having the perspective of not being here for a couple of years and now being healthy, I'm wondering if that aids you in any way when now you need to make adjustments or you have a loss or things like that, if that helps you to lock into those things even more potentially.
Oh, for sure. I mean, because everybody wants to be a part of playoff basketball. At this realm, at this stage of the year, everybody's fighting for the same thing. Everybody wants to win. It's only one trophy that gets handed out, so I embrace that. It's a fun process. Like I said, I haven't been here in a long time. So just being in this type of intense game, this intense atmosphere it's always propelled my game. It always kind of gives me a leverage up a little bit more boost of confidence to be on this stage. And that's just something that we embrace. I definitely embrace it, and that's where the mentality comes from. So when it comes to making adjustments and everything like that, I'm able to be more locked in because I enjoy it. I embrace every single moment of the process.
Is there anything that surprised you, or you're like, nah, this is like riding a bike? I know this is my element.
No, this is I was like, this is where I belong. This is the type of basketball I need to be playing. This is the stage I want to be on. This is the stage we all deserve to be on, and that's something that I was happy about. And it's definitely an unbelievable feeling to be be back on this platform, and hopefully we can continue to make noise. We got a big one tomorrow, and they never get easier, and I think that's another thing I love. They just get harder and harder, as you continue to play these teams. So yeah, I'm looking forward to each and every game.
Thank you.
Yep.
Scott?
Hey, Brad, you guys have been going on like a torrid pace. I feel like the last couple of weeks, this team's been basically playing every other day, and having this extra day of rest going into game 2. How can that be beneficial for you guys?
I mean, it's always beneficial. I mean, it's beneficial to everybody at this point of the year. I think for the last month and a half, we played every other day, and before this game, we actually had 2 days off, and now we have another 2 or 3 days off, and it's beneficial for sure. You're able to recoup, your body's able to heal and recover in the ways it needs to, and then on top of that, we're able to make our proper adjustments. Continue to watch film and see where we can get better as a team, where we can stop them. And it's been very beneficial for us for sure. We've been like I said, playing every other day, so it's always good to get extra days rest.
Hey, I want to ask you, today's the 1-year anniversary of the murder of George Floyd, a day of reflection and kind of looking back. How have you kind of remembered this day, and have you talked to teammates about it today?
No, we haven't had a chance to talk about it, but as I reflect on it, it's definitely, it's crazy to see it's fast how a year went by, that quick. And it brings back the crazy, just silence around the world, the feeling of numbness of the event, and everything that we're trying to do and to continue to push forward, to this day. His name doesn't, it doesn't go unnoticed. You know, we take pride in it. You know, he was kind of a martyr in a lot of ways, and it's unfortunate in his stance. But you know, I think us as Americans and as people, we have to be better and continue to push for better equality and for you know, better police brutality than what we've been facing. So obviously, the fight continues to be pushed. And today remarks an unbelievable day, but you know, it's never unforgotten.
Thanks, Brad.
Yeah.
Mark?
Bradley, could you talk a little bit about, you know, the difficulties that it's posed a guy the size of Simmons when he's defending you?
He's 6'10", I'm 6'3", so I think I think that's pretty simple. I mean, he's a big guy. And he plays guard, so it's not like he's a power forward or a center guard me. He's very mobile, agile, and he's strong. So I think that propels him. I think and the fact that he wants to play defense. You know, he's a willing defender. So you don't always see that. You know, he uses it to his advantage. He's very strong. But that's what he does. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Brad?
Hey, Brad, just following up on that, you guys had, I think it was 76 or 78 points in the paint against Philly, and they have great long defenders on the perimeter, and they have Embiid in the middle. Beyond just kind of a mentality of we want to attack, what allowed you guys to actually be successful in attacking a defense that's really good and normally does not give up that many points in the paint?
I mean, I think it starts on our defensive end getting stops. You know, a lot of that comes from us getting out in transition. We know they like to play a little slower. Ben can get out in transition, but more than half the time, we know they love to, kind of slow it down and throw the ball in. But for us, as long as we get those stops, we get out in transition, those points become easier for us. We know that they're athletic, they're long, but we don't fear that. We go and attack just like they attack us. And we try to get their guys in foul trouble. That's our biggest thing. We don't shy away from anything. We understand that that's been successful for us, so we're not going away from it. We're going to continue to attack the paint. And then when we attack, that creates better opportunity for us on the 3-point line. You see, DB was able to get hot the other night, just off some penetration. So that's what we need. And we're going to continue to do it.
Lauren?
Hey, Bradley, I hope you're doing well. Another question about another Sixer defender. What were your impressions going up against Matisse Thybulle? He's just a second-year player and obviously has shown some really exciting stuff. So just as an appreciator of the game, what have you made of him so far?
I mean, he's very similar to Ben. I mean, he's tall. He has long arms. He's physical. And he's a willing defender. I think that's what separates a lot of guys in the league. He takes pride in defending. He doesn't care about what happens on offense, and if he's involved, if he gets shots, his job is to go out there and keep me from doing what I do. So, I respect that. He goes out and competes at a high level. To see him only in the second year and to be a willing defender as he is, that's always a good sign. His trajectory can only go up. But I definitely try to make it as tough on him as possible, make him work, and try to move him, and my big screen him as much as possible too.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Christos?
Hey, Brad, hope you are doing well. How could you describe the mood in the locker room ahead of the game 2 in Philly, and also as the leader of this team, how responsible you feel to keep your teammates motivated with your speeches and with your actions as a leader?
Christos, we are ready to go for tomorrow. I promise you. We're all positive. Obviously, we understand we're down 1, but we're not beating ourselves up. We're not in a slump. We're not down. So it's a long series. We just take it a game at a time, and we got one tomorrow. We will be ready. We had a really good practice today, a good practice yesterday. Watch some film and see where we can get better on both ends, and we just got to put it into practice tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to it.
Neil?
Hey, Brad, going off of that a little bit, does your leadership change at all in the playoffs? Obviously, this is the first time, you're in this big time leadership role in the playoffs, and maybe has Russ helped you in that role at all?
I mean, it doesn't necessarily change. I think the only thing that changes is your intensity. It's still a game that you play. The stakes are higher, obviously, but the biggest thing is a leader. You obviously have to, talk the talk and walk it. You got to obviously perform and come out and be ready to go. Be confident on the floor at all times. Understand that every possession is valuable, and just go from there. Me personally, I don't try to make myself bigger than a game or make anything bigger than it's a game. It's another game we play, and I just try to keep it in that realm and keep myself having fun. I think a lot of times we put a lot of pressure in those moments on ourselves, and we become tight and tense. I'd like to be free and relaxed and enjoy every single moment of the game that we're playing in. So, yeah, that's me.
Thanks, Brad.
Yeah.
Malika, did you have another question?
No, I'm just incapable of using Zoom and didn't put my hand down. Sorry.
Yeah.
No problem. I think that's it then, Brad. Thank you.
Yeah, have a good one.